Hi everyone. I know it's been a long time. Hi everyone. Hello, hello. Let me see how I share this over to the group. Share, share. You know, share if you care, share if you dare. Hope you're all doing well. Took me a while to get this set up because, you know, it's been a busy few weeks. So I hope everyone is doing awesome and doing really, really well. And if you would like to donate, hey Goddess Mother, hey baby, how you doing? If you would like to donate, you can do so via Cash App at cash symbol Hector Salva, as well as via PayPal, help at mysticalwork.com, like so many other people already have. And if you don't know, hi. If you don't know, we have a YouTube. We have Saliwe, Saliwe, right? We have a YouTube. Hey, darling. We have, I don't even know, Instagram, TikTok, and all the social media platforms. Hi, Shanta. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Mambo Sandy. It's good to be here with y'all. It's been a really crazy few weeks. Mambo Sandy got me this ring light because, she's the tech girl. She knows all that technical stuff. I'm a little behind on the time. Hi, Marcus. And I wasn't able to find the stand, so I had to do a makeshift stand. And yeah, I couldn't find a stand because we've been traveling for the last few weeks. If you don't know, we went to Texas. We went just all over the damn place, really. So, and we were over at Mama Star's store. We did a great workshop over there, etc. And before I get involved into today's topic, what I want to touch upon, hi Cinnamon, what I want to touch upon is if you don't know or you haven't already heard, which I'm sure you probably have, there was a massive earthquake in Haiti. And we are taking donations to send over to Haiti. Hi, Jonathan. We are taking donations to send over to Haiti. I've actually already sent one portion to one individual to distribute already, and we're still making a collection. So if you'd like to donate to my Haiti fund, basically you can send it via Cash App, cash symbol Hector Salva, or PayPal, help at mysticalwork.com. Please put in the notes Haiti so that we can go ahead and put that into the Haiti fund and help more people. And it was a really destructive, massive earthquake that happened. So, we want to help the people there. Hi, Craig, bonsoir, right? We want to help our people there, all of the people there that, have preserved our tradition and are, doing their best to keep it pushing. Everyone's going through quite a difficult time right now in the world, but it seems like Haiti is just getting hit with one thing after the next, after the next, after the next, okay? So today what I wanted to discuss is spirituality and mental illness. So, mental illness is a really serious thing, and it exists, and it's actually a really serious thing that a lot of people are suffering with. Unfortunately, a lot of times mental illness and spirituality gets convoluted. And there's a huge number of people in the spiritual community or people pretending to serve as spiritual leaders who are actually very much plagued by mental illness, schizophrenia, paranoia, and bipolar disorder, a whole bunch of illnesses that can affect the mind, right? And a lot of times it gets convoluted. There's many people that believe they have mental illness, and in reality, The problem that they're dealing with is spirits. And there's many people who believe they have spirits when in reality they're dealing with mental illness. And if you're dealing with mental illness, many times dealing incorrectly or improperly in the spiritual path can make your mental illness worse, right? It can actually make things worse for you, especially if you're someone who's suffering from paranoia, schizophrenia, or many of the other severe mental conditions which exist today. Now, the beautiful thing is, in our tradition, in Santo Domingo, in Haiti, in Puerto Rico, for the longest time, it was spiritual workers who treated individuals who were suffering with mental illness. Unfortunately, these days, many of those locations and places no longer exist. Spirits can cause mental illness, and improper work with spirits can cause schizophrenia and paranoia. A perfect example of this is throughout this week, apparently, while I was busy doing spiritual removals and cleaning up people and actually healing someone that was suffering, hi Mambo J, that was suffering with some conditions, okay? I, along with a few of my godchildren, was being stalked by someone who has severe mental illness. Hi, Lisa. Severe mental illness. And apparently, while we were busy doing spiritual work, we were also everywhere and in everything and all over the place. I mean, it's really powerful. And here's the thing, right? Mental illness does exist. And unfortunately, in today's society, a lot of people who suffer from undiagnosed and untreated mental illness are putting themselves up as spiritual leaders. And you can see this in their behavior, okay? There's a few things to watch out for if you're working with someone or following someone spiritually. And some of the things that you're going to want to watch out for is someone who has very narcissistic, grandiose ideas about themselves, right? They tend to believe that everyone is attacking them. They tend to have a problem with lying, really a lot. They tend to lie a lot. And they have issues with everyone around them. They claim that they're constantly being spiritually attacked. And unfortunately, this is something that often gets convoluted or confused, but especially people who are new to spirituality cannot often tell that in reality that person is suffering from a severe mental illness and often paranoid schizophrenia. The truth is that most people are too self-absorbed and self-involved, and they have too much going on in their own personal lives to be attacking other people. Usually, people who suffer from paranoid schizophrenia, okay, often will go around attacking other people, not spiritually, but with their words and with their actions, and then the schizophrenia goes up, and then they get scared that they're also being attacked. My grandmother had a saying, haz bien y no mire a quien, haz mal igual que a ti. So, and that means do good and don't worry who you do it to. You have no worries, right? Do bad and watch your back, right? It means that when you're doing dirty things, it often manifests as paranoid schizophrenia because you have to watch your back and be worried that people are doing the same thing to you. Elisa, that was a blessing, darling. If they closed the door to someone who was dealing with paranoid schizophrenia, veiled as spirit, that was a big blessing that spirits gave to you in getting rid of that person, because mental illness can sometimes be contagious, right? And unfortunately, in our communities, minority communities, I know this happens very much amongst Hispanic communities. Anybody who seeks help for mental illness is kind of labeled as being crazy and it's frowned upon, but in reality, it's something that people need to take care of. You need to take care of your mental health. Oh, thank you, darling. You really need to take care of your mental health. And if you're a spiritual worker or you're a spiritual person that deals with other people, there are certain practices that I recommend that you treat yourself to on a regular basis to keep your own sanity, right? Because it can really be a lot, right? Yeah, that's true, Mambo J. I bobo for you. Um, so some of the practices I give to my god kids and things of this nature, but here are some simple things that you can do if you're dealing with spirituality or even if you're dealing with mental illness. Mental illness is a real thing, and if you're dealing with it, you need to be soft and gentle on yourself, and you need to kind of deal with things step by step. So one thing is, everyone in the world, I believe, deserves to have the experience of having bonsoir, Ida, ¿cómo está mi hermanita, mi nena, ¿cómo tú estás bella? Right? One of the things that I recommend for everyone, especially for people who do the spiritual work, is to get regular massages, right? You need to treat yourself and your body well. Many people, when we're doing spiritual work and we're helping other people, it kind of is, many spiritual workers are like doctors and nurses. We're really good at taking care of other people, but we often neglect ourselves. So, regular massages and treating your body well is something that you definitely can do. My sister, who's actually up here, Aida, okay, right? She actually yesterday in her group, she put up something really good about us exfoliating and taking care of your skin and your health, and some recipes, right, that use the knowledge of our spiritual traditions for you to take care of yourself. If you're a caballo de misterio, you're a spiritual worker, a spiritualist in any way, you really need to take care of yourself really well, because a lot of this work will really take a toll upon your body. So regular massages is one way to kind of treat yourself well. Yeah, go get one, Elisa. Go get one of those massages. And I have a god niece, and she's an awesome massage therapist over in Houston. I don't remember exactly how she puts her Facebook name together, but basically it's Tanya Massage Diva Jones, I believe, right? So if you're in that area, that's a spiritualist that you can go ahead and look out towards or look for to potentially provide you those massages. A lot of spiritual people don't like being touched. And this is because we're very sensitive and open to the energies. And so a lot of spiritual people don't just want anyone touching them. So if you can find someone who's also a spiritualist, clean-hearted, clean mind, clean body, clean spirit to do it, wonderful. But if you're still like, nah, Papa, I'm not doing that, right? There's tons of massage devices and massaging pads that are really cheap that you can put on your bed, get a massage yourself, etc. Okay? So, oh, you in Cali now. Oh, I hope you're enjoying that Cali weather. So, that's one thing that can always be done. And like I said, my sister here, Aida, she put up some recipes yesterday about like taking spiritual care of yourself and how to use herbs and spiritual recipes to take care of the skin, the hair, the nails, everything, because spiritual work is heavy duty work. The second thing that I recommend is that everyone should spend some time outside and in nature, right? You need to give yourself that time with nature. Scientifically speaking, nature has a rejuvenating, refreshing effect on the human spirit. And science is just catching up to things that we've been teaching people for centuries spiritually. So they're just catching up to the fact that nature is really essential in healing yourself and creating strength in your body, right? Take some time, go out in nature, chill out, listen to the sounds, enjoy the earth, lay down on the ground, right? Unless you're a Metrezili, you're gonna be like, right? So lay down on the ground, get yourself in contact and connection with the earth. When you're doing spiritual work, you run a lot of corrientes or currents, right? And that's electricity. What people don't realize is that everything runs on electricity, including you and your body. So grounding yourself by placing your body on the earth and getting in contact with the earth is going to help to kind of ground that excess electricity. A lot of people who deal spiritually suffer from nerves, right? Where they get nervous. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of excess energy. And that excess energy kind of putting one out of whack. The third thing that usually doesn't have to be told to spiritualists at all is that you need some regular time alone. Spending some time alone and to yourself, right? Without TV, without books, without social media, without things to entertain you. Spending some time alone to decompress, not doing anything, right? I was taught by my aunt that many things that people consider rest are not rest. If you're reading a book, you're watching TV, you're listening to music, you're on social media, your mind is still very active, okay? So you're not giving your mind a chance to rest and take a break. You're not giving your emotions, your heart, a chance to rest and take a break. So taking care to give yourself some time to allow that decompression to happen for you is really important, especially if you're going around and helping other people. The next thing that we recommend to all spiritualists is taking care of your diet, movement, and exercise, right? A lot of us, especially in Western cultures, live very sedentary lives. And if you're a spiritualist and you're doing readings and workings for other people, oftentimes you're doing that sitting down. One of the beautiful things about Vodou, La 21 División, Sanse, is that we're not a sit-down religion, right? We're a religion where you dance, you sing, you move, you give to the spirits, and you give to them by giving them your energy, right? You work with them and you give them your energy, and you dance and you sing and you honor them. We're not sit down in a church, just watch someone preach. So getting some regular movement in your body makes a huge difference in how you're going to be feeling. A lot of people don't realize, a lot of people work on trying to change their mind. And changing your mind can at times be difficult. However, moving your body about is actually way easier. And moving your body about can start to create changes in your mind. Okay? So, movement, healthy food, lots of water, All my God kids who know me see me all the time. I'm usually walking around, and you guys have seen me too, with this huge thing of ice water, right? And I love coffee, like all of us, Dominican love. We love coffee, and so I'm usually have some coffee, but a huge thing of ice water, right? Having lots of fluids. And just something that I've notated throughout the many years doing spiritual work and helping other people is that a lot of us minorities do not drink enough water. In fact, I've met tons of people who are like, I just hate water. I can't stand water, right? And so it can be a kind of acquired taste. But get yourself drinking lots of fluids, lots of water, and eating healthily. Unfortunately, for many people within our backgrounds, we weren't often raised eating the healthiest of foods just because people had to eat what they could afford. But if you can afford to eat healthy, and believe it or not, basically it's better for you to buy some vegetables that are not organic and eat vegetables rather than crap than it is for you to be like, I can't afford organic, so I'm gonna eat crap, right? It's better for you to eat non-organic fruits and vegetables. The truth is that our tradition actually teaches you how to live a healthy lifestyle, right? Yeah, I don't understand how you cannot drink water either, darling. But a healthy lifestyle. Our tradition teaches you the exact formula for health. And if you're blessed to be initiated, we'll show you that exact formula for health, right? Rest is very important. A lot of people suffer a huge deal because you're just pushing yourself, pushing yourself, pushing yourself. I saw a meme the other day, something about like you work for 40 years and you get to enjoy 11 years of your life at the end, right? It is cheaper to eat veggies. A lot of people think that it's very expensive to eat vegetables. It's actually cheaper to eat vegetables than to eat processed foods. And a lot of these things we buy in bags, etc., etc. Vegetables are actually cheaper, even if they're organic, over the long haul. They keep you full longer too. And I'm definitely very guilty of being against vegetables, right? Because like many Hispanic families, vegetables actually was not a big thing on our eating list. It wasn't a part of our regular food group, right? Rice, beans, and some type of protein is what was way more common, right? That's absolutely true. My sister Aida puts on here like basically the stronger and healthier our bodies are, the better and stronger the manifestations of our lua. When the lua takes over your body, it uses an immense amount of energy. It takes a very big toll on your body. It does a lot, right? And there's many blessings that come with being a caballo de misterio or a shuar, with being able to allow the spirits to manifest through you. However, for the person who's the shuar, caballo de misterio, or the force of the spirits, it's also extremely taxing upon the body. So these are some things that spiritualists should do to take care of themselves, because we need it. We're helping people, we're working on people, etc. Just Saturday, I believe, yes, or the day before, we have finished doing a huge spiritual removal. And so I had to, after doing that, and it took days and days, right? I had to hop in the pool, have some fun with my kids, go ahead and just swim and enjoy some time of relaxation. I believe that every spiritualist should have the equivalent of like a home spa at home. Okay. Now, the next thing is that there's many people out here who believe that they are spiritualists and who believe they are communicating with spirits, but in fact are just suffering from mental illness, undiagnosed mental illness. There's a few things you want to watch out for. with these types of individuals, okay? Right? These types of individuals usually will become extremely obsessed with other people. And they become obsessed with specific other individuals, often other spiritualists. And they become very obsessed and they become very paranoid, thinking that everyone is attacking them. Okay? They will also do things like my stalker does, right? And say like basically I'm everywhere, I'm in everything. I thank you for the compliment, but unfortunately I haven't been able to master being in 25 places at once. Maybe next life, right? So a lot of times people from suffering from mental illness become very paranoid and schizophrenic, and they think that everyone is after them, everyone is attacking them, everyone has bad intentions for them, right? Everyone is out to get them, right? But the truth is that it's a result. See my beautiful chairs there? Okay, it's a result of undiagnosed and untreated mental illness, right? As a result of undiagnosed and untreated mental illness, many people who have undiagnosed, untreated mental illnesses try to make their way towards spirituality. And there are people who actually do have spiritual abilities and yet are also suffering from mental illness. Improper spiritual work, serving spirits that you don't know how to serve, dealing with things you don't know how to deal with, can exacerbate and make worse mental illness. Mental illness can become worse because if you actually make contact with spirits, very often they're going to be lower level parasitic spirits that are going to feed off of the mental illness, the schizophrenia, and the paranoia and make things worse. This is why in the old times, pretty much all along all the island, right, of Hispaniola, whether you were in Haiti or DR, people were not usually recommended to start working with spirits on their own without proper training and guidance. And even like in our 21 divisions, in La 21 División, for a long time, you weren't allowed to put up an altar. Right now, this is the society of anyone can do anything at any time. You can. You can also get yourself messed up really bad, right? You can also get yourself really messed up. Bonsoir, Toussaint, right? You can get yourself really messed up really quickly. Throughout the time I've been involved since 1989, right? I've seen a huge deal of situations where people believe they're talking to spirits, people believe they're doing spiritual work, but in reality they're dealing with schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a real thing. And if they work with a proper unga, mambo, caballo de misterio, brujo, these things can often be cured and resolved, right? We've had people who, when they first came here, they were taking over 50 pills a day. And now they're not taking any pills, right? So it can be treated and it can be cured. However, psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, they cannot cure it. All they can do is sit there and talk and give you pills and medicines to make you very much like a zombie, okay, to subdue it, but they cannot cure it. In the old time, whether you go to Haiti or you go to DR, right, or Puerto Rico, the way that this was cured was by taking that person to a brujo or unga mambo and getting that person consulted with the misterios, finding out, is it mental illness or is it the calling, right? Because the calling also has manifestations that can seem like mental illness, right? You're most welcome, Aida, right? The calling can have many symptoms that are very similar as mental illness, right? But it's evolved, right? A trained brujo or unga, mambo, ganga, right? Who can determine, is the person suffering from mental illness or are they suffering from spiritual causes, from spiritual reasons why they're dealing with the mental illness, right? And they're both spiritual causes, spiritual reasons can cause mental illness, as well as dysfunction in the brain. Unfortunately, these days, there are many self-proclaimed Hungans and Mambos and self-proclaimed Caballos de Misterio Servidores. This leads to lots of people who do not have the proper wisdom or connaissance to deal spiritually to be calling themselves spiritualists. This leads to more paranoia, more schizophrenia, more mental issues, and then they teach the same. You can only teach what you know. So if you're schizophrenic or you're paranoid or you have narcissist tendencies or you're psycho or sociopathic, okay, all you can teach is schizophrenia, paranoia, narcissism, psychopathy, and sociopathy, right? You cannot teach the true work. This is why in our traditions, community is so important, because the community comes together and the community can state and be a witness and say, yes, this person is who they claim to be, or no, this person is not who they claim to be. Bonsoir, Raymond. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Or not who they claim to be, right? This is why our traditions have a practice of being handed down. And we consult with the misterios or the lua so often about every single case or situation that we take on. Okay? Someone asked here, how do some people slip through the cracks with initiation and still end up having mental issues? Usually this is a result of basically improper investigation, meaning whoever initiated them didn't investigate them. Oh, thank you, Raymond. Didn't investigate them, meaning really do a consultation and really look in deep. For those of you who are spiritual workers like Elisa, etc., anyone who's done consultations or readings for other people, you know that when you're doing a reading or a consultation for someone, in a little 20 or 30 minute session, you can only go so deep, right? And we have in the world, there's many high functioning individuals who are suffering from mental illness. There's people who suffer from mental illnesses, but who are high functioning, and who, unless you go in deep enough, you're not going to discover that they have mental illness. In each reading or each consultation, basically, if they have a 20-minute or a 30-minute or an hour consultation, how much can you really cover? how deep can you really go, right? However, if they were properly consulted and properly worked with prior to initiation, that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. Prior to you being initiated in any of our traditions, there's training and processes that happen for you, right? That you're learning and you're working, right? And throughout that process, if there was mental illness, it would come out in the wash. People would discover it. People would know that's what's going on with them. The initiator would realize, hey, now I'm this deep, I can see this person is actually suffering from mental illness. But unfortunately, what I've seen time and time again these days is people will have one consultation and then they're going to turn around and initiate that person, or they're going to be ready to initiate them. It's the reason actually I have few initiates, because in my spiritual temple, in my house, you have to go through the process. And many individuals want initiation, but do not want to go through the proper processes or training. They want the initiation tomorrow so that they can have titles and what they believe is power. Power without knowledge on how to use it is not power, right? So a lot of people look at initiation, a lot of people initiating people go, and like what someone said here, they're just trying to make that money, right? And here at my temple, if you're not willing to go through the proper processes so that you can be an awesome initiate and someone who's really making a change for yourself and or for others, you're not going to get initiated with me. You're not going to be accepted into this spiritual house, okay? If the initiator is really properly functioning spiritually, okay, and like someone said here, Raymond said here, spiritually and not financially, they're going to take the time. A lot of people who are here with me and who are here watching this live can attest to the fact that either A, they haven't been initiated yet, or B, they were initiated by me after going through some very deep spiritual processes, and that there was a lot of training and a lot of spiritual work that happened before we ever even touched or discussed initiation, before that was ever on the radar. And I have people who are here with me who are my godchildren, but they're not initiated yet. They're waiting for that time when that time is right. I'm not in a rush to initiate anyone, okay? Because I do awesome brujeria, right? So I don't need to rush to make no money off of initiating you. In fact, you're gonna have to convince me to initiate you. How do you convince me? By doing that proper work, by doing that proper training, by showing the development of someone who has earned initiation. Money does not initiate you. It does not earn you initiation. Okay? Yep, it's better to be at a turtle's pace than at a rabbit's pace. A lot of people mistakenly believe that when they initiate, everything is going to automatically resolve. It's just going to automatically resolve, disappear, and resolve everything. Reality, no. Initiation can make you more crazy. And if you're someone who's suffering from mental illness and you just go and get initiated, you could end up worse off. You could end up going way more crazy than you were before. Thank you, Goddess Mother. And Goddess Mother here can attest. Takasha can attest. Mambo Sandy can attest. Angelica can attest how long it takes to get initiated by me. And that we undergo very deep processes that make huge changes and shifts in your life. Things you didn't even think were possible change, right? And we pull people out of anxiety and depression and these other things that happen, right? Spiritualists, if you are a spiritualist, you're very open to these things. And, yep. And if you undergo these processes, such as initiation, prior to being ready, it's going to make things worse for you. It's going to make your life worse. If you have mental conditions, it's going to make them worse. If you have issues with grandiosity, it's going to make it worse. If you're paranoid or schizophrenic, it can make it worse. Right? Initiation is not for everyone. For some people, it can be really harmful, whereas for other people, it can be really empowering. Some people aren't meant to take the path of initiation, although they are meant to take the path of spiritual growth, healing, and development. Unfortunately, these days, right? Yep. Unfortunately, these days, many people are getting initiated or even claiming titles they don't have, but getting initiated or considering themselves spiritually advanced just because they can see some spirits or just because they can see a little this, a little that. Maybe they can light a candle and get a little money or this or that. All those things my aunt would call parlor tricks, right? Those are like doing magic, working a little bit of magic here or there. Parlor tricks is what she would call them. Okay? She would call those parlor tricks because a lot of people can do a lot of those things, and a lot of people can see or have psychic visions or abilities, right? And have that information mixed up with a lot of BS, a lot of things that are not true, or with schizophrenia, lower level spirits, etc. Right? A lot of people, so be careful who you follow, is basically the thing. Is when you're going with someone, right, you're gonna follow them, you're gonna, initiate with them, etc. Take your time. Don't be in a rush for the initiation. That's not what's really just gonna give you the power. It's the connaissance with the initiation together that gives you the power. It's the knowledge on how to use that power that's going to transform you. Right? Take your time. It's not a race. It doesn't matter if you're starting at 50 or you're starting at 20. It's not a race. You're not racing against anyone other than yourself. Right? And if you choose to follow someone or have that person be your mentor, your teacher, you're called to that person, watch out for certain signs. Watch out for paranoia. Watch out if they're constantly being attacked, according to them. Watch out if they're constantly attacking other people, right? These are all issues with character. And it's going to come out in the wash. And if you do get initiated with them, it's going to fall onto you. And you're going to deal with more things, worse things, than what you had going on before. Right? Watch out if they get obsessed about others. Watch out if they're constantly claiming, that other people are doing something to them, or spirits are coming to them all the time. Right? We don't really see this in Haiti. We don't really see this in DR as much, where people are like so paranoid and so, worried about things. A true spiritualist who has real power, right? We don't pay attention to the naysayers, and we're not worried about being attacked because we have our proper protections. We don't have spirits coming to us all the time that people have sent to us. Because if you're dealing constantly with being spiritually attacked, all that says is that you ain't got your shit in order, your shit's not in line. If you're constantly having spirits come to you and people can send spirits to you, I question how much development you must have, right? You can't be very strong, you can't be very powerful, right? If you have to constantly complain and troll on the internet, other people, it speaks volumes to your own character. And it speaks volumes to your own lack of power, right? When I have enemies or when I have people, and I have plenty, right? They have me really. I don't have any enemies because really I can't be concerned with that. I'm too busy. So when people try to make me their enemy, or when they think I'm their enemy, they're not even on my radar. Okay? And I've been doing this since 1989, and I can count on one hand how many times anyone has ever attacked me. And it doesn't even take my whole hand. It's not even a whole hand, right? I can count how many times people have attacked me. Now, have there probably been more people attacking me? Probably, but I haven't even noticed them, right? It's like the ticking of the clock in the background that you don't even notice because it doesn't affect you and it doesn't affect your life. But that's when you're on the proper path. If it's affecting you that deeply, then it only speaks to your lack of power. All right? So these are just some things to watch out for. And I'm going to make another live. I can't tell you exactly when quite yet because it's a really busy season here. We're actually doing a spiritual marriage next weekend for someone in Papau. Okay? So, and we have ceremonies this week too. It's just been really busy. Basically, I thought COVID was going to give me a break, but it made it way more busy here. So I thought COVID was going to give me a little bit of time to be like, chill out a little more. But in reality, I think it's been busier here than even before. And I totally understand because lots of people need help now, right? And this is why for my spiritualists, for my people doing the spiritual work, I wanted to give out those tips because a lot of you are working really hard right now to help people. And you have to take care of yourself because people will suck you dry and then leave you. It's no different than the physical world. People will suck you dry, right? And then leave you, turn their back on you, or try to betray you, right? A lot of people, you're most welcome, Anan. A lot of people like now, right? I have ezilikonen.com. You're most welcome. ezilikonen.com. Most people, many people in the US, right, who are not from the culture, learn Vodou from my website, which has been up there since 2002, right? Yet, those same individuals will try to come up and slander me or try to be my enemy or this or that. For me, I think it's cute. I love when children throw temper tantrums because I think it's cute. Because I have Anaisa. And Anaisa says it's a beautiful show. We all love Broadways, right? But a lot of people will take and take and take from the spiritualists, but don't want to acknowledge that that's where it comes from, or that's where it came from, right? People will suck a spiritualist dry, and something that my sister here, actually, I believe you're Hungan Sherwin's godchild, so you're my niece, right? Lisa mentioned yesterday is a lot of people will hop on the spiritualist the moment they offer something free or the moment that they're giving something away. But those people will not pass the blessing forward to anyone else, nor when they have the funds or ability to do so, will they do any work to actually help themselves, invest in themselves, or try to pay back or give anything back to that spiritualist or even the spirits. This is very common. We've seen it often where people will get spiritual work, spiritual help, etc., and then they won't even come back to say thank you or give anything to the spirits. It's not uncommon. So many blessings to you guys today and always. As I said in the beginning of this video, I'm currently taking a collection for Haiti, which you can send your donation and write in the notes, Haiti, so that we can send it out. I sent a first set of money yesterday. I'm waiting to get some of the funds more collected, because that way the fees make sense so that we can continue to help people in Haiti who are dealing with the earthquake, with the hurricane that came through. It's just been a lot, right? So support the community, support the people that held it down in order for you to have it. Many blessings to all of you today. Have a beautiful Sunday and keep the faith.